And now will be time for the Greens party, in this case with the two candidates, Ska Keller and Eickhout. Please be aware that we are updating right now our provisional results. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and good evening, or good night it is by now. First of all, from our side, we want to thank all the voters coming out, but especially, of course, the voters who are very clearly asking for change. Asking change for a new Europe. A Europe that is fighting climate change. A Europe that is looking for a green transition in a socially just way. And a Europe that is fighting for the rule of law and fighting to uphold the democracies in all the member states. And that is a Europe that has been voted for, and where we as Greens have been performed even better than the polls have predicted. And that is really something that we are very thankful for, very grateful, and we see it also as a very important responsibility to deliver on that in the coming 5 years.
Thank you. And this responsibility, that is something that we want to carry through in every action that we do in the European Parliament. We have been campaigning on climate protection, on biodiversity protection, but also on a social Europe, and making sure that civil liberties are being upheld all over the European Union, also in countries such as Hungary. And this is something that we want to do and put now into practice in the European Parliament. The European Parliament is the place to, for example, work on climate protection, because climate does not stop at the borders. And we have seen that this is a great concern for citizens all over the European Union. So we will not, in this Parliament, get around that issue. As Greens, we certainly don't want to get around this issue, but it's also clearly a call to other parties and groups to take that issue seriously and not anymore obstruct votes on climate justice as they have done in the past 5 years and even before. So for us, it's a very clear task for us to do now in the coming weeks, months and years. And I would just like to join in thanking the Green voters. It's been really amazing also to see that sometimes Greens were maybe not so much predicted to score so well, and maybe other stories have been more interesting, but we see that it works to have a positive vision for the European Union, and that has gained a lot of support. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much. We're just going to open the floor up to 3 questions now. We could start over here with Euronews.
Grégoire Lauré, Euronews. Which issues will you put forward to consider joining a coalition? And second question, will you give your vote only to a spitzenkandidat, or are you ready to give a vote to someone outside the spitzenkandidat process? Thank you.
Well, first of all, what we will see now for the first time is that there will be really negotiations on the program for a new European Commission. And we have been campaigning the entire months that we have done. We have been campaigning on climate action, social justice and democracy. So those 3 topics will also be at the negotiation table from a Green perspective. And we will make our demands there, and we will make very clear that any new president of the Commission needs to come very clear on these topics and deliver change. And then on your second question on the spitzenkandidaten, it is very clear. This is important to improve democracy. If you see the higher turnout is also a higher turnout for the European Parliament, making very clear that what we are delivering is a new European Commission and a new president. And so from our perspective, we will go for people that were already in the race before the elections, that they are also after the elections, and we will support only those candidates that have been running during the campaign.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.